My new master rented a stable a short distance from his house, and asked a man named Filcher to be the groom. My master knew very little about horses, but he ordered the best hay with plenty of oats, beans, and bran. And my groom understood his business. He kept the stable clean and fresh, and groomed me carefully. He was never otherwise than gentle. I thought I was well off. After a while, it seemed to me that my oats came very short. I had the beans, but bran was given with them instead of oats. In 2 or 3 weeks this began to tell upon my strength and spirits, and it went on for about 2 months, and I couldn't keep up my condition any more. My master didn't see that anything was wrong, for he knew little about horses. It was a friend of his, a gentleman farmer, who told him maybe someone ate his corn. Yes, if I could have spoken, I could have told my master where his oats went to. Filcher used to come every morning about 6 o'clock with his little son. I could see them fill a little bag with oats out of the bucket, and then off. One morning, just as they had left the stable, the door was pushed open, and a policeman walked in and caught him stealing. Filcher was sentenced to prison for 2 months. His son was found not guilty because he was so young. In a few days, my new groom came. If ever there was a liar in the shape of a groom, Alfred Smirk was the man. When his master was there to see it, he was very civil to me, and never treated me badly. In fact, he did a great deal of touching and patting. Mr. Barry thought he was very lucky to meet with Alfred. I should say Alfred was the laziest, most conceited fellow I ever came near. The fact was that when his master wasn't there, he hardly ever exercised me or gave me a meal of green meat or bran. I had a loose box, and might have been very comfortable if he had not been too lazy to clean it, but he cleaned out the old straw, and the smell from what lay below was very bad. The strong gas that rose made my eyes hurt and swell. Once, the master couldn't bear the bad smell, and asked him to deep clean my separate space and throw down plenty of water. But he didn't do so, and the smell in my box was as bad as ever. But that was not all. Standing as I did on a quantity of wet straw, my feet grew unhealthy and painful. One day my feet were so painful that trotting over some fresh stones with my master on my back, I almost fell twice. As he came down Lansdowne into the city, my master stopped at the animal doctor's and asked him to see what the matter was with me. The man took up my feet one by one and examined them. Then, standing up and dusting his hands one against the other, he said, "Your horse has got an infection, and a bad one too." Then I had my feet deep cleaned and treated with some strong cream. The doctor ordered all the straw to be taken out of my box every day, and the floor to be kept very clean. Then I was to have bran, a little green food, and not so much corn till my feet were well again. With this treatment I soon got my spirits back. Mr. Barry was so much mad at being twice lied by his grooms that he determined to rent whenever he wanted one, instead of keeping a horse himself. I was, therefore, kept till my feet were quite healthy, and then I was then to be sold at the horse fair. In the horse fair, I was put with 2 or 3 other strong, useful-looking horses, and many people came to look at us. They first pulled my mouth open and looked at my eyes. Then they felt all the way down my legs and felt my skin and flesh closely. At last, they tried to see how fast I could go. But the gentlemen always turned away from me when they saw my broken knees. There was one man of whom I thought that if he would buy me, I should be happy. I knew in a moment by the way he handled me that he was used to horses. He spoke gently, and his grey eyes had a kindly, happy look in it. The clean, fresh smell from him made me like him. There was no smell of old beer and smoking, which I hated, but a fresh smell of hay. He offered £23 for me, but that was refused, and he walked away. I looked after him, but he was gone. Then a very hard-looking, loud-voiced man came. I was dreadfully afraid he would have me. Luckily, he left again. Just then, the grey-eyed man came back again. I could not help reaching out my head toward him. He touched my face kindly. "Well, old man," he said, "I think we shall suit each other. I'll give 24 for him. Say 25 and you shall have him." 24.10, said my friend in a very decided tone. "And not another sixpence, yes or no?" "Done," said the salesman. The money was paid on the spot. My new master took my rein and led me out of the fair to a hotel. He had a saddle and bridle ready at the hotel. He gave me a good feed of oats and stood by while I ate them, talking to himself and talking to me. Then we were on our way to London, through pleasant lanes and country roads. We travelled steadily on the great London main road till it was almost completely dark. Half an hour later, my owner pulled up at one of the houses and whistled. The door flew open, and a young woman, followed by a little girl and boy, ran out. My rider was talking to them excitedly as he got off me. "Harry, my boy, open the gates, and Mother will bring us the lantern." The next minute they were all standing round me in a small stable-yard. "Is he gentle, Father?" "Yes, Dolly, as gentle as your own kitten. Come and pat him." At once the little hand was patting about all over my shoulder without fear. How good it felt! "Let me get him some bran while you rub him down," said the mother. "Do, Polly. It's just what he wants, and I know you've got very good bran ready for me." "Sausages and apple pie," shouted the boy, which set them all laughing. I was led into a comfortable, clean-smelling space in the stable, with plenty of dry straw. After a wonderful supper, I lay down, thinking I was going to be happy.
Lantern, lantern, lantern.
Infection, infection, infection. Conceit, conceit, conceit.
Healthy, healthy, healthy.
如果你喜欢我的视频，请帮我点赞、订阅加转发，你的支持就是我最大的动力。If you like this video, please help me to share this video. Thank you for your support.